So this is the last question in section 6.5, and this is the one where you have three camp locations, right? So just to start things off, okay, you have in the question it goes three camps, and you're going from camp A to B. So here we go. Here's camp A. So you have all these little huts you're traveling from, and you go from camp A to camp B. Okay, here's camp B. Let's say it's a little nicer, bigger huts. And then you go from here to camp C, which is supposed to be further away. And I'll just draw a nice, door over here. And here's camp C. Okay. And it goes, a bunch of travel goes from, travels 80 kilometers from A to B. So from here to here, your distance is equal to 80 kilometers. And then from B to C, your distance is 128 kilometers. Okay. And that's the first part, okay? That's the first part of the question. And it goes, it takes 2 more days to travel from B to C than from A to B. So let's say time over here, okay? Time is, you need n days, okay? You don't know how many days there are, just call it n, okay? And then from B to C, it says your time, whatever it is from part A to B, now from B to C is now 2 more days. So that means n time is equal to n plus 2. Okay, so days. All right, and then it goes. So this is the part where I think I gotta fix. It goes average speed from A to B is 3 kilometers more, and I think it should be 3 kilometers more, 3 kilometers per day more than the average speed from B to C. So I guess the average speed here, whatever it is, average speed. Now, since they don't give you an average speed, it just tells you that it's 3 kilometers per day more than the other one. So remember this triangle? Okay, so this comes in handy, okay? So whenever you're dealing with speed, time, distance, all you have to remember is STD, okay? Not the other one, but for speed, time, distance, okay? So your speed is equal to distance over speed. So whatever the speed here is, it's going to be 80 over n, okay? That's your average speed traveling from A to B. And the average speed in the other one, average speed here, the distance is 128, so 128 over n plus 2. That's your average speed. And if you look at the two average speed, this one is faster and this one is slower, right? So what that means is if you take the average speed of the faster one, which is 80 over n, minus the average speed of the slower one, which is 128 divided by n plus 2, the difference is actually 3 because it's 3 kilometers per day faster. All right. So after this, okay, so this is the first part. Here's the second part. So you have an equation now, and they're asking you to find the average speed from A to B. So before you can do that, you got to find what n is. So here we go. You have a rational equation. So start off by the LCD. Your LCD is n times n plus 2. N times n plus 2. Yeah. So I'm going to multiply everything here by n times n plus 2. So this way I would cancel out my denominator. So 80 over n times n plus 2 minus 128 over n plus 2, and multiply this by n times n plus 2 is equal to 3 times n plus 2. So again, cancel. So you're left with 80 times n plus 2. And then over here, the n plus 2, the binomial is canceled out. So minus 128 n. And equals 2. So this part over here, you expand everything out. 3n. 3n times n is 3n squared. 3n times 2 is plus 6n. So after this, combine like terms, move everything to one side. So 80n plus 160 minus 120n is equal to 3n squared plus 6n. Now since the leading coefficient of n squared is positive on the right, so I move everything to the right. So here's 0 equals to 3n squared. Okay, have this down. Here is 6n, and then the negative 120n goes to the right. It becomes 134n. So 134 minus 80 gives you, so this one, cancel. So 6 plus 128 minus 80 gives you plus 54n. And the 160 over here is positive on the left. You move to the right, gives you minus 160. Okay? So after this, all I did was I just used the quadratic formula. Okay? So A is equal to 3, B is equal to positive 54, and C is equal to negative 160. So I just use the quadratic formula for this. So here we go. And instead of writing it all out, I just want to indicate that. So A is 3, B is 54, so negative B here, okay? So in case you don't remember the quadratic formula, it's equal to x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And the only thing is, you see how this is 160? And the reason why I didn't put down negative is because it's supposed to be a minus. But since you're minusing negative, you cancel out, so you get a positive, okay? So another thing is, in the quadratic formula, you're supposed to have a plus or minus. But since the number of days cannot be negative, so I end up just keeping the positive only, okay? So I did all this work, plug in the formula, and I get 2.5902 days. So your average speed would then just be 80 divided by 2.5902. That gives me about 30.88 or 30, close to 31 kilometers per day. So that would be my average speed. Okay.